Now, you always find a temple in a certain condition. There are certain things you don't see in a temple. There are certain things, certain activities you don't see in a temple. Now, the temple I'm using is not the normal temple you know about. I'm talking about a holy temple. There are certain things that are not supposed to be there. There are certain things that are not supposed to be in the temple. There are certain things that are not supposed to be around the temple. A temple is always in some kind of state. Very important. Now, when you read 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16, Apostle Paul makes us understand that the human being is a temple of the living God. So, a human being, that is a temple of the living God, a human being that wants to be the temple of the living God, there are certain things you move away from. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to be perfect in the first time or first try or second try or third try. So far as you make up your mind that God, I want to be your temple. The human body, every human being you see there, as I keep saying, every human being you see there is a temple or is a vessel. And every vessel carries something within it. When human beings decide to yield their body, which God has described as a container, as a temple, as a vessel, through that human vessel, body, container, God can speak to people. God can touch and heal people. God can see through those people. God can hear through those people. And there is something I'm going to bring called a God antenna. In every normal human being, there is a system, there is an infrastructure that allows each and every human being to be used by God, to be spoken to directly, that allows God to speak to them directly and deal with them directly and give them encounters directly. And I'm going to bring that one, but I'm just talking about this. You are God's temple. We can look at another thing. Conscience. You do something to someone, and then instantly there's this pressing discomfort that the way I spoke to this lady, I didn't speak right. There's a pressing discomfort, and you don't know where it's coming from. And you will not have, it's not giving you peace until you do something about what you did. A pressing discomfort. That is the Holy Spirit. That is the Holy Spirit speaking. Pricking your conscience. That's the Holy Spirit. There's something you have to do at 7 p.m. But right at the time you were contemplating about the time you are supposed to do this, another time is presented to you. Do it at 10 p.m. Go ahead and do it at 10 p.m. That is the Holy Spirit speaking to you. The sad thing is, the Spirit of the living God speaks to a lot of people. But what happens is we tend to ignore some of these things that come to us. It's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. And I've said it on this channel. God is not an idol sitting in a certain building waiting for people to come and do whatever they do, like how they do in places like a shrine. He's not sitting in a certain building that you choose to go what day you want and when he doesn't know. His choice, where he chooses to live, is in human beings. He said, you are my temple. Are you his temple or not? Do you want to be his temple or not? Because if you want to be his temple, then he can reach out. He can do certain things through you if you want to be his temple. Now, anyone who wants to be his temple, there are certain things you don't find in the temple. I'm talking about a holy temple, not a temple where they worship strange idols. I'm talking God's holy temple. It's in a certain condition. And it doesn't mean you are going to be perfect from the word go. It's going to take time. And I've said this already. As a man thinketh, so is he. Though you lack the strength, you lack the capacity, though you are struggling with A, B, and C, but you still take the first step so that you can move away A, B, whatever you are doing. A, B, and C is sin or addictions or whatever is contending with your Christian life. When you make up your mind, though you know your strength is small, but you still make up your mind that what I'm going to do is take the first step to move from addiction A, addiction B, addiction C. Once you have made up your mind like that, God sees it and know that, okay, let's release more grace to this one. Let's increase Holy Spirit strength, capacity in this one because he has made up his mind. This is what he wants from you, even though your strength is small. It's the same thing. When a human being is able to conceptualize, is able to conceive, is able to think in their head to kill this person, God is judged you as a murderer, even though you have not committed it. He said, as a man thinketh, so is he. And I'm stressing this thing so that to bring revelation to people. There are some of the things you're about to do, there are some of the things you want to do, there's a certain level you want to get to in your Christian life that you know that your strength is not able to get you there. But if you make up your mind, even though your strength is small, and take the first step towards moving that addiction A, addiction B, addiction C, or turning away from sin A, sin B, sin C. When you make up your mind, God releases extra help, extra grace to allow you to break away from that because as a man thinketh, so is he. This is a powerful thing. It's a very powerful thing. Ye are my temple. You are my temple. He wants to dwell in you. He wants to speak through you. He wants to see through you. He wants to hear through you. He wants to touch people's lives through you. Are you his temple or not? You don't have to be perfect. All you have to do is a shift of mindset. Okay, I want to be God's temple. Okay, then what? And the very moment you think of being God's temple, certain things will line up. Certain things you know you have to get away from. You know it. Because some of these things you have been dealing with them for years. The very moment you say, the very moment you tell yourself, I want to come closer to Jesus. I want to have a very fruitful, intimate relationship with Jesus Christ. The very moment you think about that, there are certain addictions you are in. There are certain sins that you easily fall to that will be presented to you. And you have to make a decision. Am I going to move away from these things or not? It does not mean you have all the strength. But the determination, even though your strength is small, that yes, I've been struggling with this for 10 years, I've been struggling with that for 15 years, I've been struggling with this for 7 years, but I want to change. Heaven releases grace, power, strength, increases the measure of the Holy Spirit to allow you because you have made up your mind. That is all he's looking for. Very important thing. You are my temple. And there are certain things you don't find in the temple. Are you going to move away from those things or not? Are you going to keep sitting down in excuses? Or are you going to take the first step, even though your strength is small, to move away from some of these things so that the power of the Holy Spirit will be increased to allow you to break free?